Everyone, I'm Alyssa.
And I'm Brandon. And we're the
Wagners. We're a husband-wife duo who travel all around the country since 2021 for Brandon's travel nursing job.
We love hiking, car camping, new cities, and of course, the best food and drink. Along with adventure, we always look for ways to keep our travel budget-friendly.
So pack your bags and join us as we wander together. Hey guys!
Hey.
Welcome back. If you haven't been on a trip with us before, I'm Melissa.
I'm Brandon.
Brandon is a travel nurse here in the United States of America, and he just finished his fourth assignment in Waco, Texas. And so now we are moving to Seattle, Washington. This is our second cross-country trip. Before we went from North Carolina to Las Vegas, so now we are going vertical. And we are going to go from Waco, Texas to Seattle, Washington. So today is day one on our trip. We drove for about 7 hours today, and now we are just outside of Roswell, New Mexico. We have actually been to Roswell before when we were moving from Vegas to Waco. We made a stop here. If you don't know about Roswell, it's like an alien town. Apparently there was a UFO sighting or crash. I went to the museum and I don't remember how terrible. In the 80s, I think. But anyway, so the whole town is like alien themed. It's really, kitschy, It's fun. I don't think you could spend like a long time there. But,
yeah, definitely wouldn't make a trip for it, but it's a fun roadway attraction because the whole city's alien themed, and it's just nothing but souvenir shops. We actually had a hard time finding a place to eat because all that there was souvenir shops. So
yes, but if you're passing through, you might as well check it out. So we went to the international
I don't know,
UFO museum. I'm sorry, I'm doing a bad job remembering. But so unfortunately I don't think we'll have any footage of that because it was before we did our vlog. But if you're passing through, check it out. So yeah, this is our first trip with the car camper. So our first cross-country trip, we just did like a bunch of hotels, but guess what? That's really expensive. So if you check out on our page, we actually have another video where Brandon totally converted our Highlander into our campsite. So this is actually how we're getting to Seattle. So we just drive for about 6 to 7 hours every day, then we stop, have a camp, and we sleep in the car. So we'll let you know how it goes. This isn't our first time with the car camper, but it's our first long trip. We did like a weekend at the beach in this, so that worked really well. And then just like another long drive, but it was only like a day, so.
Yeah. So today we drove on a lot of back roads to get here. We're literally in the middle of nowhere. We'll flip to some B-roll, but the middle of nowhere, there's nobody else really around, and it's just kind of this public land that you can pull off on and camp and kind of enjoy nature, and it's beautiful out here. We came perfectly in time for the sunset. We made some spaghetti, just gonna eat up, chill out for a little bit, look at the stars, and then go to bed. So
another early day tomorrow.
Yep. Tomorrow we're gonna be seeing 2 landmarks. We'll show you those. I don't remember what the names are, but we'll show you those tomorrow. We'll keep you up to date. All right.
All right, so day 2, we're in White Rock, New Mexico. We have about 8 hours total today. We did 4 already and about 4 more. We had to run some errands today, like going to Jiffy Lube and the grocery store and everything. But we're at Bandelier. I keep messing it up. Bandelier National Monument.
So we'll show you around.
So Bandelier National Monument is 33,000 acres of beautiful canyons and it also has evidence of people who used to live there. So they have like ladders and like rocks you can climb into and see how people used to live. This is another one that is free with your National Parks Pass. I try and promote this every time I can. I'm not endorsed by anything. I just really love national parks. I'll put the link in the comments to get your National Park Pass if you didn't do that yet. But they're only $60 for the whole year. So if you use them twice, you made up for it. Otherwise, this is $25 for a 7-day pass. So definitely worth it to get the Parks Pass. So after Bandelier, we drove about another 4 hours into the southwest corner of Colorado. We just made camp there and then we head out the next morning, but we always love to drive through Colorado. Good morning, good morning. Day 3 of the trip. We are in Moab, Utah, and we are at Arches National Park. Today we have a fun day today. We only have 5 hours of driving and 2 national parks. So we're at number 1, Arches. We've been here before, but we stopped because it's like literally right on our way and it's really cool. And we had to get some merch because we didn't get some last time. And Canyonlands we actually haven't been to. We were going to, but then it's kind of like out of the way, so we skipped it, but today we're gonna do it, and then that will bring us to getting all of the Utah National Parks. Let's go check them out.
Show you what we think.
So I got a cool book at the gift shop today that tells all about different national parks. I'll show it to you later, but I'm gonna use that to tell you some facts about Arches National Park. So Arches National Park is home to more than 2,000 of these rock formations, including the arches and the balancing rocks and the stone fins and all of those cool things. The 2 most famous ones are the Landscape Arch, which is the longest arch in North America and the 2nd largest in the world. And the most popular one is the Delicate Arch. So that's the one you see on all of the artwork, including the Utah license plate. So you can actually hike up to these things through some carefully laid paths. Or if hiking isn't really your thing, there are roads that you can just drive right through and you can see everything you want to see. Hey everyone, check out this canyon behind us. We are not at the Grand Canyon, we are in Canyonlands National Park in Moab, Utah. Really close to Arches. It's just like a half-hour drive, like kind of outward to get here. I wore my right hat today. Utah Rocks has a bunch of different parks, and this crosses off all of our Utah national parks. So we're getting the last one today.
Yeah, and it looks like it's not gonna disappoint. This is the first view we have, so we can't say too much, but it really does look Grand Canyon-esque, and I can see we can walk out into the center and really get quite the view, and there's hikes all around. So we'll see. This is where we're spending most of the day today. So we'll probably get 1 or 2 good hikes, and keep you updated.
All right, let's get into it. So we found out that Canyonlands is actually the biggest Utah national park, but it's the least visited. So please, if you're in the area, please go to Canyonlands. It's so cool and it's so fun. I feel like the main reason people don't go there is because since it's so big, you kind of have to drive out to it. But honestly, even the drive out there is so cool. So it's definitely worth it. Arches, you kind of just like hit it on the main road. Canyonlands, it's about a half-hour out, so you have to come a half-hour back. But it's definitely worth it, and please don't skip over this gem. Okay, sun is setting on day 3. We had a pretty good day today. Like I said, today was not too much driving. It was more fun. So we spent a long time at Arches. I think we spent about 3 hours. Yeah. And here we're at Canyonlands still. We actually decided to camp out here tonight. So for only $15, we can get this campsite that we'll show you. And we can have 2 cars here, and we have a little fire behind us and a little pavilion, and we'll show you around, but we have a great view of the canyon. I super liked Canyonlands.
Yeah, it was so cool because it's kind of like a Grand Canyon almost, but it's on both sides of you. They called the road that we were driving on was called the Land. What was it? Land
Island
Bridge.
in the Sky.
Island in the Sky. I love that. So yeah, literally what it was the Grand Canyon looking thing on both sides, and then once it goes all the way out, and then you have like this peninsula looking thing, or almost like an island, where everything is kind of Grand Canyon around you. So
yeah.
really, really cool, really deserty area, but it's really cool that we can camp within it and be a few steps away from the view. So we'll show you around.
And you guys already know this, but Canyonlands is a national park, so with that National Parks Pass, you get your free admission. So only $15 for us to be here for the night. So we'll show you around.
Yep.
Okay, so I just wanted to show you guys this book that we got at the Arches Visitor Center today. Brandon and I are mid to late 20s, so we had an important discussion that it's time that we have a coffee table book. So this is going to be our coffee table book. We are officially cultured adults, so way to go for us. Oh my god, of course it's the one I went to today. So we got one for like state parks, but it's not that fun to look at, to be honest. I think we were hoping for more pictures. We almost went here, but we had to skip it. But anyway, so it just has like the parks and like different pictures, and then it has like information in it. I will be honest, this book was a little expensive. It was about $50. So, you know, but it was something nice that we'll definitely use, because I love looking at these and seeing like where we've been and where we want to go to next. But yeah, just a cool little thing that we saw at the national park today, so I'm sure you can find them at many. We really loved our campsite in Canyonlands. It was so fun and such a unique experience for us to be able to camp inside the national park in our car. And we weren't really uncomfortable at all. We were a little nervous about the weather. Being late August, we were nervous we'd be hot. But things actually went pretty well for us. It was nice and temperature controlled, and the stars that night were so beautiful. So day 4 of the trip, we woke up at Canyonlands and made the about 4-hour drive into Salt Lake City, Utah. And then we actually got into Idaho and ended up spending the night in Idaho. But what we're seeing now is Temple Square in Salt Lake City. It's one of the main attractions there. There's just a lot of temples in this one area that you can go look at and check out, and they're free to just walk into. Hi guys! End of day 4. We are in Burley, Idaho. It's both of our first time in Idaho.
Yeah.
So we haven't seen too much yet, but it's mainly just been like a lot of farming land and like mountains in the background. So yeah, today we left from Canyonlands and went through Salt Lake City to get here. Sorry, there's like so many bugs out here, so I'm like fighting for my life. We didn't have the best time in Salt Lake City, but I don't know. That was just one person's experience.
It was a really pretty city. There were a lot of mountains in the background, and the buildings were really new. You know, it was just really pretty. But I get the impression they expanded a little bit too quick because the roads were chaotic. There wasn't enough parking, and there was a lot of homeless there. So that was kind of our big thing, is we had a hard time parking. We have the U-Haul behind us, so really parking for 3 almost, because I take up 2 spots at the U-Haul. So we were trying to find street parking, and it was an absolute mess. But we got it figured out, and then the attraction that we were trying to see wasn't that exciting anyway.
Well, okay, to be fair, they had construction going on, which we didn't know. So we went to see Temple Square, but it was... most of it was closed for construction, so we saw like one church, and like, I mean, it was cool, I guess, but like I wouldn't have gone out of my way for that. So,
yeah, and anyway. After the parking, our expectations were pretty high.
Yeah. So. And then I got mad because like all of the streets surrounding the square are named like Southeast Temple, South Temple, North Temple, Northwest Temple, and I was like, I don't know where I am. But anyway, so that was a little frustrating. But let us know if anyone else has had any better Salt Lake City experiences. You know, obviously we were only there for like an hour, so you know, don't let this be your like, oh, never go to Salt Lake City rant. You know, just
yeah. But so for tonight, we're staying at, what's the name of this
Burley.
park?
Oh, this park.
Yeah, this park.
Mindler.
I think it's Mindler Park.
Mindler.
If we're wrong, we'll add it in. But yeah, it's cool. We're right on the water, which is really, really neat. It's a private spot. We're just camping our car, and there's a fire pit here. There's not a whole lot else, no bathrooms or anything, but just a beautiful, you know, we just saw the sunset on the water, and, you know, it's just great spots. So we'll show you around.
Yeah, also, this is something my mom asked me that I realized I never talked about. We have been taking showers. So we go to Planet Fitness. We have memberships there, so we just like go into the gym and like do like a small little workout and then shower. So the campsites we're at don't have showers, but I promise we're not just going like 6 days seeing shower. So yeah, that's just a fun little hack. If you have a gym membership, you can always just pop into the gym. That's one thing that's nice about Planet Fitness, is they're nationwide. So, yeah. Anyway, we'll show you the rest of the campsite. So this land that we're staying on is part of the Bureau of Land Management. So I didn't realize this, but that's all government owned land that they have literally just for people to use. So it's almost free. It was about $5 for us to stay here. But yeah, it's intended by the government for you to use it for camping or whatever you want to do. Day 5, first stop is Shoshone Falls, sometimes called the Niagara Falls of the West. Shoshone Falls is 212 feet in height, which is actually 45 feet higher than Niagara Falls, and it flows over into a rim of nearly 1,000 feet. So this one's almost free, but not quite. It's $5 per car, but we actually got there a little early, so before they opened, so we didn't have to pay. Okay, end of day 4, so last full day of travel. We have about 5 hours left till we reach Seattle tomorrow. So we're on the outskirts of Pendleton in Oregon, new state for us. It's really pretty.
Yeah.
I loved all the hills as we were going.
It's so hilly, and unfortunately, I don't know if it's always like this, or you know, if it was a dry year, but the hills look like they were covered by like grass. And the grass was just gray, so I think it would be really, really beautiful if that grass were like green, but
yeah,
I don't know if it's ever like that or not. And there were some burn patches. You can see they've had some issues with fires, but yeah, absolutely beautiful. I was telling Alyssa, it looked like one of those Windows XP monitor home screens, like way back in like early 2000s. I don't know if anyone will get that or not, but a lot of rolling hills. Yeah.
No, I knew exactly what you were talking about. I was like, I couldn't hear you at first, and I was like, oh, I see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can get a good view of that, kind of behind us.
Yeah, it's a little bit dark back there, but we'll give you some B-roll with it.
Yeah. The sun's going down, so it's pretty pretty. We're back in the Pacific time zone today. So it's 7:30 now here, and then, you know, but we're both really tired, and I'm justifying it by saying we just came from Texas, so it's like
kind of 9:30.
Yeah. Sorry, I was going the wrong way.
Yeah.
I was like, wait.
Yeah. For some reason today, like, we just, you know, we didn't have that busy of a day. We didn't have all that much driving. We were just kind of both arrived, just kind of drained, kind of ready for beds. So there's some nice walking trails here, you know, beautiful scenic overlook, great spot, and we literally didn't even feel like going on like the walking trails just to like walk around because we were just feeling lazy. So we made food and hung out, and we'll probably go to bed soon.
Yep. I looked over my new national parks book.
We did do that, yeah. Did some like work stuff on my phone, but yeah, nothing crazy.
Yeah, there's actually a decent reception out here.
Yeah, we've been really lucky. Almost everywhere we've been, everywhere except for one spot, has had great reception.
Yeah, Canyonlands, we didn't get nothing.
Totally worth it. But
yeah.
Anyway,
it's been a pretty great trip. But yeah, we'll show you the rest of this campsite, and then you can expect some Seattle content coming from us pretty soon.
All right. So if you're wondering how we find these different spots for camping, we use a few apps, but the biggest one that we found to be helpful, it's free on Android and on Apple. It's called iOverlander. It's everything from established campgrounds to just a parking lot that's been used for camping in the past. Is details on what people have posted as far as what amenities are available, and how to get there and what to expect. So maybe we'll make another video on this, but we have found it to be extremely helpful in finding these different locations.
Okay, so day 6 and our last day. So we woke up in Oregon and then we drove about 4 hours to Twin Falls in Washington. So this one, it was packed. This is definitely a big attraction to do. So this has a hike out to a waterfall. We were a little disappointed to find out that you had to pay for parking. They had these Discover Washington passes. It's $30 for the whole year and I think like $10 for the day. So we ended up just getting a pass, but hopefully we'll be able to use that more in the future. But this was a really pretty hike. We can definitely tell that we're in the evergreen state now. We really love the moss on the trees. It's so thick, and that sounds really weird to say, but it's so interesting. And the trees were huge, and then it was a really great hike to the waterfall at the top. Okay, day 5, last day. We are almost there, about an hour away from Seattle. So we're in Snoqualmie. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. That's my best guess. And right now we're at Snoqualmie Falls, which is right behind us. Let's see, we drove about 4 hours today from Oregon, and that brings us here. And then we did some other falls before this, and now we're here, and then just an hour to Seattle.
Yeah, almost back. All right,
I think that's
sounds
it.
good. We'll show you around.
So parking for Snoqualmie, right across the street, there's a paid lot. Don't use that one. There's a free lot just a little past it, so make sure you go there. And that pretty much does it for our second cross-country road trip. Please like and subscribe so you can see what we do next in Seattle. Thank you so much for watching and coming with us, and we'll see you next time. Bye!